There it goes.
Noise.
My stomach.
What's going on, guys? Let this thing warm up. We're going to talk about fishing today. I got to tie some teasers, and that's what you'll be seeing me do. But hey, guys, first off, I want to say I really hope you guys enjoyed the bracelet. I sent out a lot of these guys, these Proverbs bracelet, which is really cool. Very nice to see that type of brotherhood and, just Christians that are following the page. So I appreciate that very much. With that being said, if you want a bracelet, I do have a few more left. Not a whole lot, but which is pretty dang awesome because I ordered 150 and they went out very quickly. But anywho, as you can see here, I got my little vise. I haven't done this in a while, so I figured I would make some flies because if you pay for these teasers, not this one, but if you pay for these teasers right here at the store, they're gonna rape you in price. And they only give you like 3, and it's like, I don't know, anywhere from $7 to $9, which is crazy considering you could buy this material for really, really cheap and make dozens, if not hundreds of them. Now, some of you new guys might be wondering what those teasers are for. Well, these dock jigs are very popular. I use these for a lot of fish, but mainly pompano. But they work for pretty much everything, believe it or not. But what you do is if you want to make these extremely effective, then you add an additional teaser to them via a loop knot. So this would literally go the opposite of your lure, and it would be back to back on a loop knot. And every time this lure sinks, you're getting a flash, not only the wobble of the lure, but then you're getting a flash of the teaser, which makes it that much more deadly. Anyway, if you got questions, fishing questions, comments, make sure you comment below. My wife's going to be helping me, let me know that you guys are asking questions today while I tie these up. Got anybody in there?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, by the way, I want to say thank you to Jonathan. If you didn't know, I just created a memberships area on my YouTube, and he was my first member. So I really appreciate that, Jonathan. It's only a few bucks a month, guys, but it just shows your support. You get a few extra benefits, some cool little emojis and things like that. It just shows that you're enjoying the content and allows me to make a little more content. Hopefully we could build that community to a strong 500. That's what I would really like. And, we get 500 good guys in there, ladies. It'll be a really strong community. But thank you, Jonathan, if you're watching. So this material is awesome. You don't need a whole lot to do this, guys. I got some adhesive. You can get this offline or at Bass Pro Shop if you like to pay more. Little scissors. These are awesome. I use those a lot. And then little bobbin, with some, I use this white very frequently, but you know what? Maybe I'll use some hot pink today. I got all kinds of different colors. These are rather cheap and very easy to use. But again, guys, if you got comments, make sure you post them down below and I'll try to answer them. If you hear Chewy in the background, which is my Doberman, don't mind him. He likes to make all kinds of weird noises. You can't ever just be quiet, can you, dude? What kind of mess do we got going on here? There we go. So this...
Dave says hi.
Hey, Dave. Welcome to the chat, buddy.
Bradley says I was first. He was first.
Hey, Bradley. I appreciate you joining, man. What are you guys doing on this beautiful Sunday? I'll tell you, if you're down here in Florida, I don't know, the weather's just all over the place. One day it's freezing, the next day you think you could go to the beach. So I really don't know what's going on. I guess global warming. But regardless, it is gorgeous out there. Mm-hmm. So what I'm doing is just preparing this little bobbin, and of course sometimes it's got to be very finesse with it, because if not, it'll fight you. Yeah, if you guys got some ideas for content that you want to see, let me know. I might be going to the Skyway Pier this week to film some things. I haven't been out there in a while. Thought maybe I would do a sheephead video before it starts to warm up, which is going to happen here probably rather rapidly. But if you have some ideas of some content that you want made, just let me know. So I'm going to start this off, guys. If you're making teasers, it's really easy to make teasers. And I mean, I don't think there's any right or wrong way. If you do it like this, you'll be fine. You'll catch a lot of fish. Got a few different, colors here, different flash. I like to use the synthetic stuff for the teaser. Some people like to use the natural, like the bucktail. I don't know. I find that the synthetic stuff works better for me and my purpose. Anyway, no sir. So what we're gonna do to get this started, I'm just gonna get the thread going here on the hook. Wow.
Mike said, Josh, I really enjoy watching your videos.
Hey, Mike, I appreciate you watching, brother. I really do. I haven't been going live a whole lot, guys, but I'm thinking about going live every Sunday. What do y'all think about that, just to mix it up?
Timothy Thomas says, hello, Mr. Taylor. I'm a 60-year-old man from Cleveland, Ohio. Now I live in Montgomery, Alabama. I've been rocking with you for a while now. I need your help, please.
All right, Timothy, what you need, buddy? I appreciate you watching, too. I know you guys got some cold weather up there right now.
Well, he moved to Montgomery, Alabama. Has it been cold in Alabama, too?
It was freezing up there.
Oh,
Y'all got snow up there, didn't you, in Alabama? It was snowing in Florida, guys. We had like a foot of snow. What kind of crazy madness?
On the beach.
That's terrible. Yeah. Listen, when you start seeing people do snow angels on the beach, you know global warming's real. Something's happening.
Alex said, yes, do it.
Okay.
For the lives.
Well, I think that's what I want to do.
Be consistent with that.
Yeah, I'd like to be consistent with that. What I do, I'm just putting on a little bit of that flash. You don't got to put on a whole lot, guys, with these teasers. Sometimes less is more.
That's really easy, too.
Yeah, these are really simple. They're really quick to make. And honestly, if you want to get your kids or your wife involved in fishing, this might be a good way to do that, because, it's kind of like arts and crafts. And as a kid, I liked arts and crafts. I painted and I did a lot of drawing, so this isn't far off, but this thread
it's old.
This
it's
thread
so
is
old. You haven't done this in a long time.
Holy smokes. So my thread, guys, is very bad. That's not good.
You can just glue it right there.
No, so what I'm going to have to do to finish this, you typically need a whipping tool. I mean, you don't need a whipping tool, but it helps you close that knot. And I have one, I just don't know where it's at. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie this off. Even though I didn't get all the wraps that I wanted to, that thread is definitely bad. It's breaking with the very little pressure. So I'm going to finish this off, and then I'm going to glue it.
You saw that one little area that's got a gap?
Yeah, I see it.
Okay.
So I just I tied that knot off. I'm not going to use that thread anymore. I have to pick up some more.
Danny Truong, I hope I'm saying that right, says, have you heard of any pompano being caught around Tampa Bay since the cold front? It's been actually a while we've heard about pompano.
Well, so I haven't, but I know, Danny, that over at the power plants, if you're near me, Central Florida, Anclote and Apollo Beach, this time of year, they always have pompano. That little bit of warm water discharge, they just gravitate towards it, and they're always in there. Thing is, you just don't see a lot of people targeting them with the right lures or the right the right bait, so to speak.
Does Gandy still have pompano?
Well, Gandy has pompano, just not in the wintertime.
Just not in the wintertime.
Yeah. I mean, who knows? Maybe there are a few pompanos still running around. So over at Gandy, I mean, I'm sure anything's possible, but they like that warm water. So I went ahead and glued this. I didn't finish that exactly the way I wanted, but what I'll do now is just let this hang, and I'll start my next fly or my next teaser. Actually, I'll put it right here. What I'm using today, guys, is just this little Gamakatsu 1/0 hook. If you can see that.
It's you gotta like kind of see here. We can get it in the light right there. There you go.
Yeah, so those are the hooks I'm using. I like Gamakatsu, but Owner, Mustad, they all make good hooks. The idea is you just want something strong, something that isn't going to rust out real quick. All right, I'm going to go back to my white thread.
Did you ever catch pompano in the wintertime though, Joshua, like usually?
At Gandy?
Or anywhere, like, pompano.
Yeah, the power plants, but
Just that's it?
I was never big on targeting pompano.
Pompano's a good eating fish though.
Yeah, I never really target them though. I target them during the run,
Mm-hmm.
and then I target them at the power plants.
Yeah.
But,
Off the beach is pretty cool though too, to catch some pompano. I mean, that's definitely,
oh yeah, you can catch
Yeah.
them off the beach for sure,
Yeah, during the
especially
summer.
during their runs.
yeah.
So I'm gonna get this started. I'm gonna use my white thread, guys. That pink thread, although it looks cool, it's not too good. What you want to do is just kind of coat that hook though, get it started, and after that, everything will stay in place a little better. Hey, so who do you guys got for this Super Bowl? I don't know. I'm not into watching any of those guys, man. Kansas City and Philadelphia. Come on, man. Again, I'm done with that. Who do you guys got?
Johnny Barfoot said, very cool.
Johnny!
Eric S. said, Josh, love watching your videos. Brother, keep it up. Hope to catch you out near the power plant in Apollo Beach one of these days or in the Gulf. I'm looking for you to say hi.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, definitely. If y'all ever see me out there, definitely stop and say hi. Johnny, what's up, my man? I appreciate you. I already gave you a shout out. I don't know if you were on here or not, but I appreciate you becoming my first member on YouTube. That's pretty cool, man. Very cool. Very much appreciated. I like to build that community up and get some good guys in there, ladies, fishermen, women, and who knows. I'm thinking about doing some special, with that membership area, special videos that I don't publish to the public, and then maybe doing some ebook style things. I did my first ebook the other day on how to troll for grouper, which I put in my last video. You may or may not have seen that. But somebody had reached out to me and they wanted information on how to troll for grouper. And you can put stuff in video, but sometimes it's hard to put everything in video. So what I might do though is get more detailed with my membership area, and that way you guys can really learn this stuff and not have any questions.
Timothy Thomas said, Mr. Taylor, I had a storage shed fire and I lost all of my fishing equipment and I didn't have no fire protection insurance at all.
Dang it.
Can you please help me with a spinning reel and crappie lures?
That's horrible. Sorry to hear that you lost all your stuff. A fire is terrible, guys. So no insurance or nothing, huh? Got a little bit of this. Look at that.
Very pretty. It's horrible.
Yeah, it's kind of like those guys over in California, man. You see all those fires. I mean, we got hurricanes this past year, and the hurricanes, fires. I mean, if you're a believer, this stuff isn't really a surprise, you know. It's not a surprise to me because it's all written, but things are definitely getting worse, and you could see it every year. I think what's most infuriating, though, is that the insurance companies just keep taking from everybody. They take your money, and then when it's time for them to be needed, they don't show up. God, that's infuriating. But I don't have any crappie setups. I don't really fish for crappie too much. So we don't really crappie fish over here. I probably should. Got a couple places I could technically go and crappie fish, but it's not something that I really fish for a whole lot. So here's another teaser. About to be done. We're going to glue this baby up. You don't want to put too much glue on this, guys. You want to kind of just coat that top, and then what will happen is it'll fall down, and if you want, you could technically do that number and just rotate it a little bit. Like this one looks really good. But you just want to coat everything, and that pretty much solidifies your knot, makes it where it's not going to come undone and unravel and stuff. But yeah, what I was saying though about the membership thing, I think I just want to do some in-depth stuff, but I don't want it to be seen by everybody, because anyone who's going to take the extra time, the extra money, and the extra energy to really support my channel and the growth and the message that we provide, I want you guys to get the benefit of that.
A little bit extra.
It's a little bit extra, because that's pretty cool that you guys would do that for me. But it's all new to me, so I'm learning as I go with this membership stuff. When I first started YouTube, I never had any idea that I was gonna, make money, or it was never, the sole purpose of YouTube was not to monetize anything. I was just sharing my passion for fishing, and I enjoyed teaching and learning, and YouTube's opened up a lot of doors along the way, which has been cool. And even more importantly, it's allowed me to spread, the gospel. I'm not a preacher by any means, but I believe that our purpose, if you're a Christian, and you might believe this too, but I think our main purpose being here is to spread the word of Jesus. I believe we're on a limited amount of time, and we got to spread love, spread the word, and YouTube's allowed me to do that. So it's
Very grateful.
It's been cool. And I met a lot of cool people. I've worked with a lot of awesome companies. Heck, even that funny looking guy, Chris, I met him off YouTube. Hey, funny story for you guys. Y'all want to know how I met Chris?
Jose, amen.
If you guys want to know how I met Chris, comment down there, let me know. And I'll tell you how I met Chris. You guys are going to love it. I know you want to know.
Maybe some of the guys on here don't know who Chris is.
They know who Chris is. Chris is the ugly one with the long hair. Chris, if you're watching,
He's probably on.
Chris, if you're watching, I love you, buddy. Oh, man. All right. So you see how easy this is, guys. We're made quite a few already. Hey, Timothy, you can reach out to my personal email, buddy. I mean, if there's a way I could potentially help, I'll definitely try. Joshua at Salty Scales. not really in the habit of just giving away random stuff, but I understand, man. You know, when you're going through a tough time, sometimes you need a little more. Ooh. Let me give some glue on this thing.
You're so quick at that.
Yeah, it's not hard. So once you learn how to do it, it's really not hard at all. Any questions?
Mr. Taylor, can you please help me with this? Okay, yeah, he just sent a spinning reel. My church pastor gave me a spinning rod. The only thing that I need now is a spinning reel. I'm praying that you can help me. That's Timothy Thomas.
Okay. Any other comments? See, that looks good.
Yes.
Not too shabby. Let me see how these guys are drying. See, if you put too much glue on here and you hang them up like this, which I do, what happens is that glue will run down and get on the eyelet of your hook, and then when you go to use it, you have to pierce a little hole in there. Not a big deal, but just something you got to be aware of.
So no one wants to know how you met Chris, I guess.
Well, I'll tell you how I met Chris. So, Chris, you know, Salty Scales, if you're not familiar, I own Salty Scales. It's an apparel company, saltyscales.com, if you're curious. Well, 11 years ago now, you know, the company's like 12 and a half years old. But so Chris reaches out via email. And I get this email, a long email, by the way, and it's some kid, wasn't a kid, I think he was like 18 at the time, and what kid to me, you know, and he's like, hey Josh, I've been watching your videos, I'm a big fan, I'm like this collegiate level bass angler, and he's telling me how he's fishing all these bass tournaments and stuff, and you know, I lost this email because me and Chris laugh about it all the time. And I'm like, well, this kid seems like a nice guy, and he's local. So it happened to be at that time, I was actually looking for someone local to work events. So I'm like, and you know, I get those emails quite a bit actually, especially back in the day, I'd get them. So I said to myself, you know what? I'm gonna respond to this kid. For some odd reason, I responded to his. I thought his email was pretty thorough. It was long, and yeah, I just responded to it. So I told him, I said, listen, come down and meet me down at one of these local events in Ruskin that we were having at the time. And we'll see if maybe we got, you know, there's an opportunity there for you. So he did, and he came and worked down. He ended up working out. Him and another buddy came down. They both worked for me for many years. Chris worked for me for a long, long time. And what was funny about it, though, is, you know, that whole BS about him being in a collegiate level bass tournament and stuff, that guy ain't ever fished a bass tournament since I've known him. I told him, I said, you're a con man. So if you guys ever see Chris out there at the boat ramp, you tell him he's a bass angler con man. But he's been a good employee, good friend over the years, so.
He wasn't the best fisherman either to start.
Yeah, he did suck at saltwater fishing.
He had to learn a lot from you.
He won't tell you that though. Chris, I hope you're watching.
He had to learn a lot from you, but he's really good now.
Chris has come a long way, guys. He got his own captain's license, and he can fish now. So it's been pretty cool to see him how far he's come over the years.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's the story on that.
A chili, I hope I'm saying that right. Silvestro, yo fam.
What?
I said yo fam.
Yo, what's up? So you guys got some content ideas, make sure you comment and let me know. Hopefully you guys all received your bracelets by now. They all went out last Monday.
Yeah, through the week, yeah.
Yeah, through the week.
Monday.
So everybody should have got them. Hopefully. Let's make that shorter. Oh, there's another one. I'll be out of hooks here in a minute.
Chili, I hope I'm not butchering that name, leadered a nurse shark on live shrimp and 10-pound braid the other day.
Nice. Nurse sharks are cool.
Bent out hook.
Bent the hook out. Oh, that's a good fight. How big was it? Those nurse sharks are pretty cool sharks.
Yeah, they are. They're so hardy. I mean, their skin is unbelievable.
You know, they are. It's true. Their skin is very, very thick. But I tell you, they're one of the better fish to eat, shark-wise.
6 to 7 foot, laugh out loud.
Hey, that's a good fish, man. Congratulations, especially on light tackle.
Then they're not going to hurt you either, those nurse sharks, really.
Oh, they can hurt you. You don't want to
But-
put your hand in their mouth, that's for
Yeah,
sure.
but they're not really aggressive sharks,
If
I
you've
should
ever,
say.
if you've ever looked, they're not aggressive, but if you've ever looked inside a nurse shark's mouth, they have like
Like a redfish.
15 rows of teeth. If you got your hand in there, it'd be
Isn't like crushers though more like?
No,
No?
they're teeth.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'm thinking of sand sharks.
yeah. If you ever put your hand in one of those things' mouth, you would definitely know about
Oof.
it. All right, another one bites the dust. Keep on going here. So we went offshore in that last video, guys, that I just posted. If you haven't watched it, man, those cold fronts got everything locked up right now. When I tell you that water is 52 degrees, the bait was dying out there. I'd never seen so many turtles in my life. When we were driving out to, the stopping grounds, I probably saw 1,000 turtles sunbathing. And I had no idea Tampa Bay or the Gulf right there had so many turtles. I was kind of surprised by it. But we zigzagged all around them and made sure we were, aware, because if you didn't, you could easily hit one. They were just so slow that it wouldn't be difficult to actually run into one. So if you're going offshore, just make sure you're aware of that.
A chili said I have an 8-weight fly setup, rarely use. Dave Clackham, not sure if you could use some. I've got some polar bear fur from the 60s before you weren't allowed to possess it. I used it to make flies also. Very cool.
Well, that's really cool. I've
Yeah.
never used polar bear fur.
Yeah. And then a chili, ever catch a permit inshore? He's asking.
Yeah.
Fly.
Not by fly, but actually, what's crazy is that Apollo Beach Power Plant has permit. I didn't know that until one year. I just happened to catch one by accident, and then I started to actually fish for them. And you fish with live shrimp on the bottom over there. And this was the trick, guys. So power plant used to be awesome. Back in the day, you could fish over that wall that they put up.
Tiny wall.
There was a small wall. It didn't used to be that large metal wall that they put in, but you used to be able to fish over that, and legally. And it was like fishing in an aquarium. I mean, I would catch cobia, tarpon, pompano, jack crevilles.
Huge jacks.
Blacks and bulls were everywhere. But permit are in that area right there, right over that wall. So I had no idea permit were like in the bay like that until I started catching them. And that was like
Pretty cool.
8 years ago.
Yeah.
But it was pretty neat. So I've never caught one on fly. I've never even caught one on fly offshore. So maybe I need to add that to my to-do list.
A chili said most frequented tackle shop. He wants to know what mostly do you go to? What store?
I go to Gator Gyms a lot. Those guys are always pretty good to me. we don't have any good tackle shops locally. I mean, I actually thought about starting one, but I don't want to get into bait and stuff. It'd be more like a mini Bass Pro Shop.
I was just gonna say, he's an Amazon shopper, which is horrible. When he needs something right away, of course, he'll get that by tackle, but
Yeah,
sometimes Bass Pro.
yeah, I've been cutting down on Amazon though, guys. I don't like what Amazon stands for, and I don't like how they do things now. Even as a business owner, what they do to businesses on Amazon, it's not right. And I kind of wish more would just start protesting them because
Get away
they're
from
really
that.
not deserving of our money the way they treat the way they treat business owners on that
But even
platform.
customers, they say it's gonna, you go into buying something thinking that it's gonna come that day based on what they have, and then it never comes that day. And,
Oops.
and we understand as business that, yeah, you can't control shipping and stuff like that, but we're not selling it based on, we're gonna ship it that day and you're gonna receive it. They're literally advertising that, and that's been very frustrating in the last year, I'd say, that they started doing that. And you're paying.
Well, what I don't like Amazon's doing, guys, is they used to be, it was all about get a bunch of small businesses on the platform to sell different products. And it was, hey, let's make it lucrative for all. But now what they've done is they've gotten so big, they always put their products, which they get overseas for pennies on the dollar, and they recommend those products before all the other businesses who have ultimately established Amazon as a brand. So they've spat on all the businesses. They make things almost impossible to run on Amazon. They want to flag you for everything. If you're not holding a certain amount of inventory, they want to flag you. There's just all this criteria, and it's because they want to suppress you. They want you off the platform now because they just want to sell their products and make even higher profit.
And if you stay on the platform, they're charging you enormous amounts of fees.
Anyway, that's my rant,
Yeah.
but definitely try to shop local if you can because we want to support our local guys anyway.
All Pro Property Maintenance, keep doing what you're doing, man. Big fan. I ran into you and Chris a long time ago at Domino Boat Ramp. Y'all had pulled up with a boat full of decoy ducks.
Oh yeah, yeah, we were duck hunting. Oh, I appreciate you watching, man. Definitely do. I need to get out there and do some duck hunting. I guess the season's about over.
Timothy, his email address again is joshua@saltyscales.com. A Chili says, what does Amazon stand for? I work in fulfillment. Probably true.
Oh, well, I appreciate that, but
We don't want to get you in trouble.
listen,
Yeah.
I'm viewing it not by a belief, what Amazon stands for. I'm viewing it based off of being a business owner and having my products on Amazon. And it just seems like they make small businesses' life hell.
Yeah.
And there's no support for small business. It's just sad because I think Amazon
Could do
could be
amazing.
extremely phenomenal. And not only that, they could stimulate a ton of businesses across the US and across the world,
They
really,
weren't so greedy,
if they weren't so greedy.
which is really unfortunate.
But I get it, man. They say, and this is where, I talk about it a lot, me and my wife, there's a fine line, when you're making money and you as a Christian, God doesn't necessarily tell you can't be wealthy, but where the problem lies is when you start loving money more than God. And I use money as a tool. Money is not, it's only important
Time.
to me because it buys me time with my family, time to do what I love to do. I'm not locked down to a 9 to 5. So money is important as a tool, but as long as it's just a tool and it's not something that, you're going to put before God, then I don't think God has any problem with you making a lot of money.
A Chili said, dang truth. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what we feel.
Well,
It's in our opinion. So
yeah, just our opinion. All right, one last hook remaining. I can't believe I've went through all these already. Well, it goes to show you guys. I mean, I'm just sitting here BSing. but you can make these so quickly. I don't know why they sell these for so much money. I mean, it's very little. It's very little product involved. Very few dollars. You know, the hooks aren't that expensive. So
Another thing we noticed when we were shopping at a tackle store was that they're starting to like lower the quantity on stuff, but charge you more for, you know, just like DOA shrimps, you know, for example, and that's been, wow, it's just unbelievable.
well, it's not just that. You know, everything. Inflation's got prices of everything going up. So it's yeah.
And Chili says, ever hook yourself? Tell them about the stories
Oh,
of hooking
shoot,
yourself.
man, I've hooked myself 1,000 times.
Tell them about the time you were out on the boat. I think it was pretty far, and you hooked yourself so bad you had to take a thing, and or was that Chris?
No, that was Sammy.
Or Sammy? Okay.
Well, I don't hook myself as much as my friends hook themselves. So I'm the one that's usually yanking the hook out. And as long as you know how to properly do that, guys, it's not a big deal. But you do have to watch out. I don't know if you know, but when you're yanking a hook out of somebody's hand or leg or foot, somehow they have some vagal response where, like,
Pass out.
they try to pass out on you. And I've had like 3 friends almost pass out because they hooked themselves. I've never experienced that. I've hooked myself a ton of times, but there was one time, you know, me and Sammy were out there flipping. We were bass fishing actually, and he had a big old football jig on, and he yanked that thing, man. He missed a bite. At least he says he missed a bite. And that lure came back 100 miles an hour. Luckily, it just hit him in the leg. But that hook, and if you know, those hooks are fairly large. That thing buried into his leg, and he just let out a scream. And the next thing you know, I'm like, all right, let's just take care of this, Sammy. I'm gonna fix you right up. So I get my glove on, and then I put my you know, I wrap some mono around it, and I hold it the way you're supposed to hold it. And I'm just like, you know, we're just gonna pop this thing out on the count of 3. And I 1, 2, pop that baby out, and he was good to go. Had another buddy who put trebles in his hand. I specifically told him, we were trout fishing. I said, that mirrodine, those hooks are deadly. And a lot of times I change out to inline hooks. Well, in this particular instance, I didn't. But I said, listen, when that trout comes up and shakes, you need to respect that trout because he's going to bury them hooks in your hand. Oh, yeah, man. Oh, I'm cool. I understand. Like all guys, stubborn. And sure enough, you know, halfway into the day, we've been catching trout all day. He's been doing well. But I guess he let his guard down. That thing buried those hooks. And I looked at him. I turned around. He looked at it. He was as white as this thread right here. I said, oh, crap. Sit down. I said, dang, I ain't trying to fish you out of the water. Luckily, we got the blood back into him. And I yanked that baby out. And he was good to go. But he had a little more respect for that mirrodine for the rest of the day and probably the rest of his life.
Think back to those times on the fishing pier, Skyway. We would fish with those gamagachus and those treble hooks, man.
Gotcha lures?
Gotcha lures. Did I say gamagachus? I mean, gotcha lures. And man, you know, you would hear left and right people getting those treble hooks stuck in there.
Well, a lot of times at the pier, you know, people would cast overhand and they don't watch who's behind them and stuff too. They would hook people out
Cars.
there. Cars. I've seen all kinds of stuff out at Skyway Pier. But yeah, no, I've hooked myself a bunch. I don't have any crazy stories that were good with mine. I typically just hook myself and yank it out and disinfect it. And then I have my Technics shot, so I don't get any crazy issues.
A Chili said intense, great stream, was only on break. GT he's got to go. Big fan.
All right, man. Take it easy. I appreciate you stopping in, brother. I put too much glue on this one.
It's starting to drip.
It's dripping.
Yeah, it'll start
It's dripping.
thick too.
You see it dripping?
Yep. Well, attempting.
Just trying to.
Yeah. But
That glue is not very thick. So hey, if you guys like this stream, make sure you're giving a thumbs up. I haven't even said that at all. So hopefully y'all been hitting
Pound,
that
pound, pound.
button. I appreciate it. Share, like, join my membership, guys. If you find that my content's been helpful or useful, join that membership. I appreciate it. I'm gonna start telling people about it more. Just to get. I don't expect everybody to join, but it'd be nice to create something cool in there. The only thing I noticed, I got to figure out, I'd like to be able to directly communicate with y'all in that membership area. So I'm going to reach out to YouTube and see if that's how that
Something
can be
available. Yeah.
done. What time are we at on that?
You're at 40 minutes.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Holy smokes, I didn't know I've been on here for 40 minutes. I just been rambling on, guys. My goodness, I'm sorry you had to listen to me that long. Hey, but I tied all those, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different teasers fairly quickly. Why BS in a little bit? But you could do it really quick, to be honest. It doesn't take long to tie those at all. Well, I hope you guys have a great Sunday. I hope, you guys did some fishing this weekend. The weather was pretty all right for it. We fished a sheephead tournament yesterday. I did not
Mention that.
do all that well. I think we were in like 5th place or something. But that's the way the cookie crumbles. We caught 6 fish, 4 keepers, and the biggest was only 16.5 inches. The big fish that won it was 20.5 inches. So,
but it was a rough morning.
Typically in the sheephead, you're able to sight fish to them and you could see them and stuff. And I wasn't able to see anything. It was overcast. It just wasn't good.
Dreary. It was low tide, which makes it also difficult to get the right depth for sheephead.
Where's my cap to this? Oh, there it is.
So.
Oh, it's trying to drip on me. But yeah, it was a good time, man. It was a family event, so at the end of the day, we were just having a good time. My baby, Stella, that was her first tournament, and she loved it. She didn't catch a fish, but she fished, man. And
she did.
I told her I got to take her fishing because I felt so bad that she spent 8 hours just fishing and never got a chance to actually catch one, so... That's the way the cookie crumbles, though, especially on the January and early parts of February can be tough fishing, especially if we're getting those cold snaps. But that's what I told her anyway. She didn't understand it, of course. She wants to catch fish. But hey, guys, if you enjoyed this live, give a thumbs up. If you want to see any type of content, make sure you let me know down below. And I appreciate you guys all stopping in. And until next Sunday, wait for that next video. I'm going to try to get a couple new videos out this week. I appreciate the support. The more likes, shares, and comments, the better. Until next time, I'll see you on the water. Dude.